Hey everybody, and we're back for another What's on the Shelf, and we're now on cubby number 22. So on this shelf we have Super Motherload, Cribblish, Mastermind, Categories, and Raptor. So Super Motherload is a Roxley game. I first played it at a friend's house and I was so impressed with how unique it was. This is a steampunk themed deck builder game. Each character or each player get their own deck, and you also have your own deck that you can buy from and upgrade. And you can't buy like the top card until you've bought lower level cards for each type that's available. And what's really neat with this one is you are actually mining for different treasures or different goods too. And as you mine down, there will be different type of rocks you have to mine through. So you would have to use different type of cards to get through those rocks, right? So some are like iron rocks, so they would require a harder, and you probably wouldn't be able to mine as wide of an area, be a bit more concentrated. So it would kind of affect of which path you want to take. So maybe you'll go around it, but then there might be good treasures in that clump, so that you decide you do want to go that way. It was really neat. So as you dig, you'll have these black piece of cardboard that will kind of go and cover what has been dug up, and anything that gets covered you get to collect as well. They'll come in different shape depending on which way you were digging and which way you were mining and what you collect. And what's really neat with this as well is as you dig and you go down the board, eventually when you reach a certain level, the second board comes up, so you're digging deeper, and then you kind of keep going and you reach another level, then the top board goes away and then another board comes down. Now you're really deep in there, and so very interesting. I really enjoy this one. Here's another picture. The last time I played it, so you can see on the board we have all those black tiles of where we had dug, and the card shows on the side, like the little symbol shows how much digging power you're getting. Very neat. The artwork is interesting as well. Really enjoy this one. Next game on the cubby is Cribblish. So Cribblish is very much like Telestration, except it's on a piece of paper. I've played this one quite a few times. I've had this one in my collection for a long time, even before I discovered modern board game. This would be, like the kind of game you could find at Walmart, for example. But it was such a neat, fun party game. It was really different from other games that I had come across. So everybody starts with their little holder and a piece of paper that's rolled up into it, and you get a card and you pick a saying that you want, and you would write that down. And the first person both writes it down and doodles a little image of what it's being described. And then you roll the dice, and it either gets passed to the right, passed to the left, it gets shuffled with everybody. And then the person that gets the thing kind of pulls down just to see just a picture, and they have to write a new caption on it, and then it rolls it back up. Then it shuffles or passed around again, and then the person pulls just a new saying, and then they have to doodle a new drawing and all that sort of stuff. And the results are hilarious. I had found a second game of this at a thrift store, and actually have a game with 12 different, so we can play 12 players. Definitely this game is better with a higher player count, I would think. We played it one time, and the original saying was, "My family walk on stilts," and the person had doodled stick figure people on stilts, and then the next person that looked at the drawing, and it became, "I have extra feet at the knees." It was just funny at how it can turn around. Here's a sample. What's neat with Cribblish as opposed to Telestration is you have a little piece of paper you can look at again. And this is kind of what it can look like at the end. Next game on that cubby is Mastermind. Now remember, my aunt had Mastermind, and every time we would go there, me and my cousins would play that game. I played this a lot in my childhood, and it was so interesting. And this is a puzzle game. So one person picks 4 different colors and creates this pattern, and the other person will then randomly select I don't know what they're called, like little peons, then you would put them down. And then in this one, you can slide the red side and you can slide the white side. So if you have the right color in the right position, she would indicate that on the red side. If you have the right color but not in the right position, that would be indicated on the white side. And you're trying to get all the right colors all in the right position. So maybe I'm putting a few things down and I have one red and one white. So two colors are correct and one is in the right spot. So that means two of the colors aren't correct and three of them are, so then you kind of change it up and trying to figure out. And it's so neat, the puzzle of it. We've played this lots. It was so much fun. Next one on my collection is Categories. Categories is another mass-produced game, and it's one that's been really enjoyable and I've really liked every time I've played it. And it's interesting. So with this particular one, you have a card that has different categories, and then you will roll a dice. So on the categories, it could be like something you find in the fridge, or something in this room, or something you'll find in a school. Like it'll be different things like that. And there's a lot of different cards. They're double-sided, so you kind of all pick, okay, well, let's do card number 5. So everybody puts the card number 5. Then you roll the dice that has all a bunch of different letters of the alphabet on it. And then when the dice, so let's say you get S, then you want to go and start finding something in that category that will start with the letter S. So something that you'll find in the fridge with the letter S. Syrup or soy sauce or different things like that. Now you want to try to be unique, because if anybody else has the same answer as you, it gets eliminated. So you want to kind of try to come up with something that's not too obvious. And there's a timer to kind of do it, and then you score points at the end. You'll do this for 3 rounds, and whoever has the most points is the winner. It's been really, fun game to play for sure. Next one I have is Raptor. I had heard of Raptor quite a bit in top 2-player lists, like top 10 2-player lists. That one would come up often. So when a friend of mine was selling his copy, I decided to buy it. And that's all I really knew, that it was a great 2-player game. And I didn't know a whole lot about it. I knew that one player plays as the Raptor, the mama Raptor and the babies, and the other player plays as a scientist. And I was actually really surprised with this game. The mechanism is so interesting. So yes, you got one player that's the mama Raptor, and the goal is to get her babies to safety. The other ones are the scientists, and the goal is to capture 3 of those babies so you can study them. And so each character has different sets of ability or movements they can do. So the mama Raptor can move quite fast in straight lines, so she can go around. She can also call her babies so that they'll come to her squares if they're able to. There's the scientist. They can use a tranquilizer gun to kind of put the baby to sleep, and then the second one can come and pick it up, and different things like that. It's been really interesting, but what's neat with it is the mechanism is all based on cards. So you have a deck of cards, you shuffle it up, and then you pick, I believe it's 4 cards. And then you secretly pick which card you want to play. Now those cards have 2 different things on them. You got the number at the top, and then you have the actions you can do at the bottom. So you'll select your card, you kind of put it down. And then you reveal at the same time, both players reveal which card they have. So whoever has the highest number will get to do the movements, and whoever has the lowest number will do that special action at the bottom of the card. But the player who has the highest number, the number of movements they get is the difference between the 2 cards. So if I play a 2 and the other person played a 5 and we reveal, so that means the other player will get to do 3 actions on their turn while I'll get to do my special action. Not too bad. But if they'd played a 7, now they'd have 5 action. They can accomplish a lot more. So you're trying to mitigate a little bit when you're going to play your low cards, when you're going to play your high cards, to kind of maximize that. It was so neat, so interesting, and the game looks amazing when it's all set up. Really fun. I did really enjoy this one. And actually, that was it for cubby number 22. So do follow me on Facebook at Didsbury and Area is playing all the games. I'm also on Instagram as boardgame_mama. And my YouTube channel is Board Game Mama. So thanks, everybody, and we'll see you soon for cubby number 23.